Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley in this afternoon. We are about to go live here on our 24/7 weather channel as well. It's a first alert weather day, right? We've been tracking these winds, a little bit of rain. The heaviest is done, but the heaviest winds have yet to come. That's mainly going to impact that forecast for today. I should say the forecast is mainly characterized by the winds that we're going to be seeing. I know some of you might be heading out on your lunch break, heading back home after a long morning of work, and you need to know what you're encountering. We're going to take a look here at satellite and radar in just a second. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in any comment section that you can find, whether you're tuning in on Facebook or YouTube. We would love to hear your input. Once again, it's mainly just looking like some rain showers out there. Those towards the northern part of our viewing area may be tapping into some more moderate rain showers, but as you can see, kind of along 75 and west is where we see that line of showers right now. Those east towards Claremont County, Highland counties, even Adams County as well, just starting to see their first showers of the late morning to early afternoon. And then with it, while the main weather story is not really in the showers itself, it's going to be in the winds. It's when we have these showers, these rain showers, transition, there we go, into some snow showers, that it could start to impact the roads a little bit. That's not going to happen until a couple hours from now, closer to about 3 o'clock, and that's really temperature dependent, right? I want to show you the bigger picture because we're already seeing snow in parts of the United States, of course, just west of Chicago, and those out towards St. Louis also seeing some rain showers as well. So while we are noticing a couple of extra gusty winds right now, you pair the gusty winds with cold temperatures and with the snow, it's really feeling like winter later on today. Again, that system, that low pressure system, if you will, it's trekking north of the area. We got the warm temperatures a few days ago. I mean, we got them yesterday. We had them this morning, right? And then as we see the cooler air kind of move counterclockwise around that center of low pressure, then we're going to start to see the cold air mixing in. And with all the mixing going on, of course, those breezes going to kick up, especially as we see 3 p.m., and then with it, the snow will fall. We're not expecting anything too heavy in terms of snow over the last few days. We've kind of just been giving you that first alert that it's enough to kind of impact those plans, right? So don't be fooled by this icon. It's not going to necessarily snow all over the place, right? Just enough to say that it happens. And keep in mind that while that high did say 36 degrees, that's our 7 p.m. temperature. That's what we call it here in the Fox 19 First Alert Weather Center, in which, those temperatures into the mid-30s by about 7 o'clock, whereas 7 o'clock this morning, we were in the 50s. Today, we're seeing those temperatures decline. It opens up the door for those snow showers overall. Let's take a look here at these temperatures right now, which looking like a little bit more of a cooler situation out to our west, which, keep in mind, we're going to be seeing here in the next couple of hours. So those in Batesville, Connorsville, and Warsaw already seeing those cooler but still relatively all right temperatures in the upper 40s. But those out in Maysville, they're cooking mid-60s for this time of year. I mean, that's certainly pretty nice. Maybe not as nice as what's to come in that first alert extended forecast, but hold on to it while you can. It's going to be slipping from underneath of our feet within the next few hours or so. Again, a lot of it has to do with these winds kind of going around that center of low pressure, which these wind gusts, look at these, about 36 down there in Brooksville, Dry Ridge, and West Union. Don't be fooled by the lack of data in Batesville and Milford. I'm sure those winds are still quite blustery. Again, these are wind gusts. I want to show you sustained winds as well here in just a second, because even those sustained winds are certainly notable, right? And they're making those temperatures later on today feel just a little extra chilly. So right now we're not noticing too much of a wind chill with these winds. It's mainly in the mid to low 40s out to our west. And then later on, we're going to see and feel quite the difference as we get, of course, into said snowy territory. As of right now, though, overall not too shabby in terms of those wind speeds. Let's take a look here. Yeah, about anywhere from 15 or 10 to 15, maybe even 25 mile per hour sustained winds. Just where we have those higher wind gusts right now, you're going to have those higher wind speeds. Overall, nothing like we haven't seen before in the tri-state area, but just enough to really notice it as soon as you step outside. I know my mom, she actually just texted me and she said, it is blustery outside. And yeah, it's going to remain blustery at least for the next 24 hours, even a little bit longer than that, because tomorrow, well, it is a bit cooler heading into the day tomorrow. It's a little less breezy, but overall, I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to be particularly nice tomorrow. It's still going to be a bit cloudy on the backside of this storm. I will say the second half of the day looks a bit more sunny than how we're starting it. But we're starting off freezing in the low 30s. And so with those temperatures dropping overnight to and just below freezing, some of those shallower puddles, anything that the wind is not able to evaporate, we're going to see some slick spots developing. I don't think it's going to be a widespread issue, but just something to sort of keep in mind, especially if you're heading out early in the morning tomorrow. And then also the winds are going to kind of jostle you around a little bit too. So that's going to be for all day, not just for the morning. Low 30s for the morning, low 40s for the commute home tomorrow. Again, this is for Thursday. Today is mainly characterized by those temperatures declining, those winds kicking up a little bit, and of course, a bit of snow. Seth tuning in. Hi, Erin. How are you doing on a Wednesday? I'm doing pretty okay, Seth. Thank you so much for tuning in this Wednesday. Darla. Hello, Erin. Hope you're having a great day. It's been raining spurts of heavy to light showers. The wind is blowing so hard, branches have fallen off the trees. Ethan and I were talking about this. He lives in the Milford area. My family lives in the Milford area as well, and they were all without power this morning because a tree had reportedly fallen onto some power lines. I believe it's all fixed and resolved now from what he was telling me not too long ago. But yeah, the wind blowing so hard that branches, trees had fallen down because of that rain that had fallen late yesterday into today. It kind of softened up that soil a little bit, and then the winds takes it right down, especially the older trees that don't exactly have those strong roots. Jeff tuning in. Good afternoon, Erin. Happy hump day. Happy hump day, Jeff. Wednesdays are technically my Mondays, but hey, for everyone else, happy hump day. Hello, Sarah. Hope all is good today. Me too, Sarah. I hope you are doing fantastic on this Wednesday, March 5th. If you can believe it, we're in March, folks. We're getting there. We're getting there. Warmer weather is on the horizon. It's also in the 7-day forecast. I do want to show you that Fox 19 First Alert forecast on one of our model runs to give you an idea of how the afternoon is going to play out. Because like one of our viewers just mentioned, it kind of goes from moderate showers to light showers and just spurts of both of them. And we're going to notice that at least through the next couple of hours as rain. And then it'll start as snow. So by 1 o'clock in the next hour, a lot of us are going to be dropping into the 40s with those temps. And then here comes a bit of snow. So it really depends on how quick these temperatures fall, because you'll see here on our forecast model, east of 71, you got some rain with temperatures in the low 40s. Whereas west of I-75 towards Indiana, mid-30s. And so that opens up the door for some wet snow. So it really just depends on where you are, one, and two, what the temperatures are at this time. Generally speaking, those who see the cold temperatures quicker, which is going to be those out west, you're more than likely going to get the snow, period. Whereas those east, maybe even missing out on the snow entirely. Overall, not a huge impact in the snow showers itself. Again, about 1/2 inch. I think that's being generous. And the fact that we're coming off such warm days is also helping this forecast too, or at least limiting the impact of said snow, which continues in spurts overnight and then really tapers off. We're not expecting much going on there for the morning commute, other than, of course, still a bit breezy, freezing. I mean, look at this, upper 20s. There we go. Got my thumbs in the right direction on that one. And with this, the upper 20s, I should say, could very well see the more shallow puddles, things like that, melt a little bit. Untreated roads, any snow that falls will stick. So again, just keep that in mind if you're heading out bright and early tomorrow. The temperatures in the afternoon and a little bit of sun, like I mentioned, is really going to help us out, or at least, like I mentioned, help the impact, limit the impact of the snow. Low 40s is what we're forecasting in the afternoon there for tomorrow, and increasing sun as the day goes on. We really just have about 24 more hours starting now of cloudy, getting cold, snowy, just like a little taste of winter. Again, nothing intense, brief, and then we see the low 40s once again. Still chilly heading overnight into Friday, in which temperatures going to be dropping to the low 30s. By no means it's going to be comfortable for that Friday morning commute. Definitely want to have the winter coat. And something that we're going to be watching, you saw it just there a second ago, I'm going to rewind it. Something we're going to be watching is this system that is bringing, or a forecast to bring, snow just north of us towards Dayton. You see it right over there towards Dayton around 3 o'clock on Friday. And then it could very well drift south into our northern parts of our viewing area. So that's Middletown, Hamilton, Lebanon, Wilmington, Connorsville. I think those in Owenton and Falmouth. You guys will likely just see a bit of rain late Friday evening. And it really just depends on how far north this warm air is able to travel, because it could very well be one of those situations in which we're seeing a little bit of snow north, a little bit of rain south, and along the edge of that, maybe a bit of mixed precipitation. I think with temperatures prior to this and after this, we don't have to worry about anything too significant, at least for those weekend plans. Just active heading late into Saturday, and then we're quickly going to see those skies clear, those temperatures, they start freezing. I mean, look, 20s is certainly nothing to certainly something of note, I should say. And then we're going to start to notice those warmer temperatures by Sunday. I'd say Sunday is going to be your pick day out of the weekend. I'm going to show you that here in just a second, I promise. I just want to get through some model runs real quick to give you an idea of where the action is. Because beyond the next 48 to 72 hours, it's pretty nice. Like, we're seeing increasing temperatures, we're seeing a lot of sun, plenty of dry time, which of course allows those temperatures to rise. So we really just got to get through the next couple of days, at least through early Saturday, and then we can start to ease up a little bit, at least for a few days, right? As soon as I say that, Mother Nature's going to be like, Erin, I don't think so. Here's a random storm. We're not going to manifest that, though. Today is about the winds. It's a first alert weather day, and those winds are already gusting up to about 40 miles per hour, and right now at the time is 12:15 in the afternoon. And just because we're still waiting on the afternoon to come, a little bit of extra heat, so we can't rule out 45, maybe even the isolated 50 mile per hour wind gusts. I mean, look at this map, look at West Union, 48 miles per hour. We see these winds lighten up pretty decently as we get into Thursday. It's not going to ease up entirely. Here's waking up Thursday, 35, maybe 40 miles per hour. And then towards the afternoon, a pretty similar picture. It's just going to be a bit cooler heading into tomorrow. So as a result, you got to factor in just a bit of a wind chill, just an extra bite, with temperatures feeling like the low 30s at times. But then by Friday, winds feeling a lot better, looking a lot better. And then eventually, just gotta get through a bit of rain, and then we're smooth sailing into that first alert extended forecast, which I'm gonna go ahead and show you here. And there we go, starts to load. So again, today is that first alert weather day for the winds. We've already seen and heard of reported power outages, and we will continue to hear of them. I'm almost certain with these winds up to about 50 miles per hour. Again, that's isolated. I think most of us are going to be from 40 to 45. 39 degrees, that's the afternoon, late afternoon to evening temperature. I mean, right now here in Cincinnati, we're in the 50s. We're waking up tomorrow morning in the 20s, though, and watch out for a few slick spots just after the rain and the snow from today. I think the winds will really help evaporate that a lot, but of course, any ice on the roads is all it takes for it to be rather dicey. And then Thursday, blustery, you got some afternoon sun that brings us to the 40s. And then Friday, don't be fooled by that icon. We put it there to say, hey, rain is possible. I think most of the day, the daytime, is going to be dry. Late afternoon to early evening, we're watching that line of showers in which the viewing area is kind of split. Depends on these temperatures, right? So those of us that are a little cooler that evening, you might see a bit of a wintry mix, whereas those who have still yet to cool down with the sunset, you could see just rain with that. Temperatures waking up Saturday in the low 30s, warming up just a bit there by Sunday. We spring forward, those temperatures spring forward a little bit, 50 degrees with partly cloudy skies. I mean, look at this extended forecast. Monday and Tuesday, 60s to 70s. So from Sunday afternoon, 50 degrees, 48 hours later, 70 degrees. And of course, as we see any temperature jump, in order for the temperatures to jump, the winds will also change with it. So it's going to be pretty breezy. We're going to be watching a few days in which those temperatures or those wind gusts will be a little bit on the heavy side. But of course, we're springing forward, folks, so we're losing an hour of sleep, but we're gaining an hour of daylight. And so what that means for those sunrise and sunset times is you're just kind of jumping ahead an hour, especially that sunset. I want to show you this real quick. Again, this is for Sunday. These sunrise and sunset times are for Sunday. That sunrise is just before 8 o'clock, but look at this. Sunset is at 7:40, and we're going to see 7 o'clock sunsets through the middle part of October, which I know a lot of people are going to be very excited to hear about that, of course. All right, let's check our comments real quick. Susan tuning in. Hello, Erin. Was very windy in Blanchester. Now it's pretty calm. Yeah, that's outstanding to hear that things are pretty calm right now, and we're not completely in the clear with those gusty winds across the viewing area. Still watching for those cooler temperatures to swing on in, bring with it a bit of snow, but certainly bring up those wind gusts. So it's just something to keep in mind, Susan. So, and I believe that's all we've got coming into our comments. So that's wonderful. We'll go ahead and take this little bit of extra time to kind of touch on those snow amounts, because while the snow is pretty minimal, it's still there, and it will be enough to impact you guys in some way, shape, or form. Don't take these totals exactly to heart, because I know some of these on the higher side of the spectrum, where we're kind of arguing that what actually is able to accumulate on the ground is anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch. What you're seeing here on your screen is snowfall. So anything above an inch, I would take that with a big grain of salt, like a fat grain of salt, because just because it falls doesn't mean it's going to stick. Really just depends, right? Right now, temperatures are still in the 50s here in Cincinnati, so the longer that we're seeing these warmer temperatures, the less impact that this snowfall is going to have later tonight and into tomorrow. Some models have up to about 1/2 of an inch, others have it down to about 1/4 of an inch, so expect anywhere between 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch. Again, the untreated roads, going to watch that pretty carefully. The treated roads should be pretty okay heading into your Thursday. Molly tuning in. The wind is strong is in Pleasant Plain, Ohio. Absolutely, that aligns with what we've just been showing here on 19 at noon, which we'll go ahead and slowly try to wrap up. I'll show you one more time what that 7-day looks like, because I mean, it's normal for this time of year to see a pretty active pattern in which you have the highs, the lows, the really lows, the really high highs. And for some of us, we're going to be noticing the snow as soon as today, and then that opportunity will kind of shun itself away in this extended forecast. So Thursday into Friday, those temperatures rise just a bit, knocking on the door of 50 by late in the day Friday. Again, those showers mainly in the afternoon to evening, late afternoon to evening. Saturday and Sunday, your weekend, honestly looking outstanding. Other than a couple of chilly mornings, you got a lot of sun and those warmer afternoons, or at least relatively warmer afternoons. And then Monday into Tuesday, we're just building off of that heat with a lot of sun in that forecast. We're hitting 60s by Monday, and then by Tuesday, 70. degrees and no big rain in sight to put a stop to these 70s. So something that we'll be watching is just how warm can we get before some rain decides to cool us down. All right, I believe that's everything that we needed to touch on today on this first alert weather day. We'll be watching those wind gusts very carefully to give you guys that first alert as the afternoon and evening approaches. And of course, don't be surprised if you see a few snowflakes flying over the next few hours or so. But on behalf of all of the Fox 19 First Alert Weather Team, thanks so much for tuning in this afternoon. Meteorologist Ethan Emery has the latest information coming in at 3 and 4, and then of course Chief Meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer will be in later on as well. But for now, signing off here at the Fox 19 studios, have a great rest of your Wednesday.